Hello, NWOBHM here today. It's the 23rd of October 2024. Little quick request, if I can be so bold as to ask that of you, and that's if you wouldn't mind please subscribing to the channel, because that's a big help and appreciated. So click the little button if you wouldn't mind. Today, who remembers Hollow Ground then from the original new wave of British heavy metal days, late 70s, early 80s? They weren't around for too long, unfortunately, and High Roller Records have pulled it out the bag again, as they often do with old NWOBHM stuff, and reissued Hollow Ground's anthology, Warlord, in a nice slipcase cover with a little mini poster of that lovely artwork there. I believe it was hand drawn by the band back in the day. And it looks like something from a middle school art class, doesn't it? But anyway, I just think it adds to the authenticity of the whole thing. As I mentioned, if you remember your NWOBHM history, Hollow Ground were right there in the early days, late 70s, early 80s. Put out a 4-track EP, which is that much sought after Warlord EP, bit of a NWOBHM classic, isn't it? But they didn't go on after that. A recording deal wasn't forthcoming, and I believe the band split around about 1981. But say High Roller doing what they do well with all these old NWOBHM bands. This anthology contains the 4 tracks from that EP, 1 or 2 others that they recorded back at the time that appeared on a compilation album, and very, very, very interestingly here, we've got a 10-11 track rehearsal session that the band recorded back in the late 70s on, live as is on cassette. Cassettes back then, if we all remember that far back, the most unfriendly music format of all time. They did get chewed up randomly, wouldn't they? And horrible things, but here, to add even more authenticity to it, this 10-11 tracks or so that they did record live at rehearsal on cassette is a really interesting listen. It really is. Hollow Ground musically, well, I guess you'd call it classic new wave of British heavy metal. Everything that's necessary is here in copious amounts. Thumpingly heavy, fast riffage, flying solos, thunderous drums and bass, big vocals as well. There's no messing about anywhere here. It's all delivered in a punchy style, plenty of speed, plenty of power, plenty of promise as well. Although, as I mentioned, a recording deal wouldn't be forthcoming, and Hollow Ground's time was somewhat limited. But just if you listen to it. The EP, Flying High, Warlord, Rock On, Don't Chase the Dragon, it takes no prisoners, none of it. Properly in your face stuff. Particularly, I would say Warlord, which was only, I think it's just over 2 minutes long, and that blasts away at your eardrums with a big punch. Make no mistake. And as I say, the cassette recorded at that rehearsal session is quite a fascinating listen. Sure, it's rough and ready because you can't polish it up, can you? Recorded some around almost 50 years ago, almost half a century ago, and as I mentioned again, to me it adds to the authenticity of the whole thing, showing a young and hungry band working hard on songs and chasing that dream that wouldn't come to fruition for them, and there's nothing wrong with that, is there? High Roller Records continue to do a fine job with stuff like this. And just this year, for example, we've had old NWOBHM stuff reissued by High Roller, such as Jaguar's Power Games, wasn't it? Amiga, Persian Risk, and Mithra, all classic new wave of British heavy metal. So thank you, High Roller Records. And again, for Hollow Ground, for old folk like me who remember the old days with plenty of nostalgia and still wish that we were back in the late 70s, early 80s, or if you just like your stuff hard and heavy and in your face, well, Hollow Ground will probably fit the bill for you. So there we are, that's Hollow Ground, classic new wave of British heavy metal. link to it on Amazon in the description below. You can go and check it out there. Be available, no doubt, directly from High Roller and one or two other outlets. So shop around for your favourite one. So that's it for today. Please do subscribe to the channel before you go, because that would be marvellous. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.